Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope that everyone is doing great. The purpose of making this video is to elaborate the specific topics related to history, especially for my students, my dearest students. They are having some kind of confusion regarding few topics, so I just think to make the video, and I feel like the video would be beneficial for the others as well. So yeah, here I am with the YouTube page with Learning with Elisa. The topic which I am going to cover today, that is a Rowlatt Act, which is a very important essential topic of section 2. If I'm talking about the content course number 2059. So students, the topic is Rowlatt Act. I'm going to start Rowlatt Act with World War One, because the World War One began in 1914. Since you better know that there were Axis and Allies power in World War One, and the British were extremely occupied in World War One. So automatically they were having no time to look into the matter of the Indians, and Indians were about to start the nationalist movement, right? So in World War One, when the British were busy, they want Indians to be staying quiet without starting any nationalist movement. That is why they have started, Defense of India Act they have put forward in 1915, right? That was not basically in 1915. They had started it in the beginning of 1914, when the world war about to begin. That was an emergency criminal law, right? But it got implemented in 1915, and it has been told that they are going to put forward it before World War One and should end after the 6 months of World War One. It means whenever the World War One will be end, this defense law will be, Defense Act will be end after 6 months of ending the World War One, right? So the World War One has been ended in 1918. We all are agreed to that, and it has been suggested that after 6 months, it means that if I'm talking about like in 1919, the Defense of India Act would be ended as well, right? So British were not very well prepared, since they had lost so much military, so much plannings in World War One. That is why they are not ready to face the Indians on that time. That is why there was a committee arranged, a panel sat down under the supervision of Sir Sidney Rowlatt. He was a good representative from the Viceroy side. So basically, the Sir Sidney Rowlatt was there under the supervision of Lord Chelmsford, who was a Viceroy on that time. Viceroy means the Governor General. So Sir Sidney Rowlatt supervised a committee of the Rowlatt Act. Alright. Now basically, what is the work of the Rowlatt Committee? Rowlatt Committee has been suggested to extend the Defense of India Act, because they had no other option. They wanted the Defense of India Act to be there for the longer period of time, so that they could able to rebuild themselves. Who wanted to rebuild themselves? The British wanted to rebuild themselves. That's why they wanted to put forward that Defense Act to be extended for the indefinite period, because due to that extension, Indians won't be able to do any kind of thing without the permission of British. Alright, so basically the extension of Defense of India Act for indefinite period is called a Rowlatt Act. Okay, I hope it's clear. The extension of Defense of India Act for the indefinite period is called Rowlatt Act. Who was the Viceroy on that time? Under the supervision of Lord Chelmsford. Alright, so students, for the Rowlatt Act, I just need to add on one thing. See, every single thing which you are studying in history, there must be some kind of objective behind that, right? The same thing happened with the Rowlatt Act. There is a specific objective for the Rowlatt Act, and that is to abolish the revolt and uproot conspiracy against the British from India. It means that whatsoever happened, nobody will going to pinpoint British, and if somebody going to pinpoint British from the Indian side, so automatically they have to repay for their own things. Repay in the sense they have to face the consequences, and those were extremely bad, right? So basically, according to the objective, they have been allocated few things which the people needs to understand, the people of India especially. The first and the foremost thing, that if you are going to work against the British, then the police search place without any warrant. Police can come at your house anytime. They can behave whatever they want with your family. Nobody will going to put any kind of allegation on them. Let's see, if British saw any kind of pamphlets or any kind of protest things, so they will be imprisoned you for almost 2 years. People can be imprisoned without trial, right? Also, they have made a special courts with the panel of special judges. If they are going to give any kind of result, if they are going to give any kind of judgment, then nobody will going to change that judgment. This is what the Rowlatt Act is all about. Alright, they always specific British on that time. They started banning any kind of gathering. Nobody will going to gather anywhere if something happens in this way, so automatically the things will be worse. And we have a very good example which I'm going to discuss in the upcoming video, that is Jallianwala Bagh incident. It was so pathetic. I'm gonna give you extreme detail of that specific topic in the same way, so it would be easier for you to frame your answers accordingly. Why I'm just telling you in the form of flowchart, because I just need you to understand the entire concept and frame the answers accordingly. Alright, students? Alright, due to this Rowlatt Act, definitely whatever the British were doing, the things were extremely critical, the things were worse. So due to that Rowlatt Act, several Indian ministries started resignation from their executive councils. I have written the 4 names right here. The first one was Muhammad Ali Jinnah, then Mazharul Haq, then Madan Mohan Malviya, and then B.N. Sharma. These 4 important personalities resigned from the council, alright, on that time, because the things were getting pathetic. British were not undertaking the things, and they are being so cruel towards the people of India on that time. People were very angry due to the Rowlatt Act. Automatically, the things are like that. Then we have moving towards that when to see the entire scenario, what Gandhi did basically. Gandhi introduced a movement against the Rowlatt Act, which is considered as the Satyagraha movement, which I am going to discuss in the next video. So stay tuned, stay updated, students. Do let me know your reviews in the comment about your understanding and all that. And this thing, though your comments will be motivating me to make the another video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Allah Hafiz.